Out of all the superpowers that your X mutation could take form of, just growing giant wings doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. It's a good thing that he's rich because, like, regular people, I don't think could handle just having wigs. Like, your doors have to be bigger and your clothes have to be tailored. I don't know. Seems like wings is definitely a 1% type of superpower. Just saying. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blast Arcaded Painting. So, Monster Month is over, so we're going to get back to doing some Star Wars and some Marvel stuff, but just so you guys know, going forward, I am going to do monsters and stuff for some indie games and some smaller games like Silver Bayonet, and I hope to do some Dread Knight stuff, and yeah, there's going to be more variety on the channel than just Star Wars and Marvel, just so you know going forward, but they'll still be Star Wars and Marvel. So anyways, let's paint Angel for Marvel Crisis Protocol by Atomic Mass Games. Let's go. First thing we're going to do is give him a spray of white all over. Then we're going to take some burnt red, and we are going to put this on all of the parts of the costume that should be, yep, you guessed it, red. So we want to stay away from any of our white, stay away from our wings. Our face area doesn't matter so much. The reason I sprayed it white is because we're going to use some easy ways to do the wings and the white parts of his costume. So we just want to make sure we're cleanly going through and staying away from our wings and our white areas. Then we're going to take some desert yellow here, and this is just going to go on his Playboy blonde golden hair up there. Next, we're taking some Topaz Skin, and this is going on his face because it's the only place that actually shows some skin. So, try not to get it on the red, but luckily, if you do spill any over, just grab your red, clean it up. No big deal. Now we're going to take some Skeleton Horde contrast paint here, and this is going to go all over the wings. So this is why I kept a white prime, wanted a white prime, no zenithal, anything like that. I want it to be bright and poppy, but I want to use some contrast paints. Then we're going to take some Battleship Grey and some Speedpaint Medium. This is going over all the white areas of his costume. So the area on his chest, his gloves, and his boots. And any place that we spill this over, again, grab your burnt red, clean it up, or just wick it away while it's still wet. This is easy paint to use. Next, we're going to take some Ashen Stone and some Speedpaint Medium, and this is going on the dust cloud by his feet. We had to use two different colors here because we don't want it to look exactly like his costume. So this is more of a dirty street cloud, I guess, as opposed to the bluish white costume. Now we're going to take some Vampiric Flesh here, and we're going to do our first dry brush up on those wings. So I mean, like, you could leave them with the Skeleton Horde if you wanted to. I wouldn't suggest that. So we're going to do this up first. This is just our first dry brush up. Then we're going to take some pale sand here. We're going to do our next dry brush up on the wings. So we want to just leave the Skeleton Horde in the recesses, basically, and bring those colors up. But this ends up looking really good. Then we're going to take some Ivory, and this is the lightest of the dry brushes we're doing. This is going all over the wings. So that's going to be the end of the wings. We got the Vampiric Flesh, Pale Sand, and Ivory. Now we've got some nice sepia-toned wings. Now we're going to take some Insignia White here, and we're going to use this to highlight up any of the white on his costume. So, we're staying away from the recesses because that has our Battleship Grey in it. This will come out looking a little bit more cream colored, but it dries more white. It's not completely white, obviously. It's more of an off-white, but this is pretty much perfect for what I was looking for the costume. So just go through, stay away from the recesses, and get it on there. Next, we're taking some Jasper Skin, and we're going to do our first highlight up on his face. So we want to catch his chin, his nose, the upper parts of his cheek, the brim above, like where his eyebrows would be, and also his upper lip if you can manage it. If you can't, that's fine. Just get those higher up spots. Next, we're taking our Barbarian Flesh. We're doing the same thing we just did, except that we're keeping the topaz in the recesses, and we're keeping some of that Jasper Skin on there as well. So we're just getting the highest points. So again, chin, cheekbones, right above the eyes and the nose, and try to get that upper lip if you can. Next, we're taking some matte white here just because I'm focused on the face. I'm just going to dot in 2 little eyes there. The reason I like the superheroes is because I can get away with just painting their eye white and it looks good. We're going to grab some yellow ochre here and we're going to do our first layer up on his hair. So over that desert yellow, again, we're just getting the raised areas, keeping the recesses alone. And we're going to take some Daemonic Yellow, we're going to add that into our ochre yellow, and we're going to do the next layer up on that hair. And I originally planned on this kind of being the last layer for the hair, but I don't know, it didn't look as poppy as I wanted it to. So remember that white that we used for his eyes? We should still have that on our palette. We're just going to add a little bit of that into our yellow ochre and Demonic Yellow mix, and we're going to do one last layer up on his hair. And we're going to take some Wyvern Fury. Now, this is, I think, the biggest painting part of the miniature. We already did the white, we already did the skin, we already did the hair. So now we've got this red, and we're going through the same way we have been. Stay away from the recesses. Just bring up the raised areas. This Wyvern Fury goes on pretty bright, but I think it dries a little bit duller. And it's definitely a really nice step up from the burnt red. So don't be afraid to mix different paint brands because they definitely can work together. Next, we're going to take our pure red here, and this is, yep, we're just going to go through and hit those raised areas again, staying away from our Wyvern Fury, staying away from our recesses, bringing up all the red. I didn't want them to be too bright and poppy. I really wanted it to look, well, I'm Canadian, so it ends up looking like the red from a Canadian flag and the white, and yeah, just flying Canadian, man. We'll finish up the base, and this guy is totally done. And here he is all finished up. You know what? I'm super happy with how he turned out. The white is really good. I really am happy with how the white looks. The skin looks, the wing, the red. I'm very, very happy with this miniature. Now, I've been painting monsters and gluing things together and kit bashing and doing all this other stuff. It was nice to just sit down and paint just a regular character with a color scheme that I didn't have to think up or didn't have to worry about. Like, just look at the box art and go, okay, I'm going to replicate that. And he turned out really good. I'm actually really happy with how he looks. It was nice to do some layering and all that stuff I haven't done for like over a month. Contrast paints and speed paints are great, but you really want those miniatures to pop, you got to do other things. You have to do layering, you have to do blending, you have to do that kind of stuff. And this was nice. This was a nice paint job. I didn't really care for the miniature that much beforehand. Once I got him together and started painting him, I really, really like him. It was very enjoyable. What do you guys think? Are you picking this guy up? I don't know how he plays on the table. I haven't even looked at his rules. Nothing. I just wanted to paint something that was a little bit newer, and turns out I really enjoyed it, so that was great. I've said enjoyed it like 90 times so far. So what do you guys think? You picking this guy up? Let me know in the comments below. And we want to thank our Patreon supporters, Charming Grenade, Richie Fender, and Liam Keogh. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. You guys have a great day. I'm kind of fair skinned, so if I was flying around, I would definitely have a mask on, because I feel like you'd get a sunburn like pretty easily. That, you know, flying above where there's shade and stuff. Anyway, that's just me. Also, he has a costume that like protects his whole body. but nothing to protect his face. And he's flying. Like, cars have windshields. Like, you don't want to... There's bugs and stuff. Like, what about, like, June bugs, mayflies? I don't know what you guys call them, but, like, fish flies? Anyway, he wouldn't be good in a locust situation, that's for sure.